Welcome to Urania Universe. I am here with a video for you sharing my perspective, insights, practices on opening yourself to channel, opening your psychic centers, and really balancing those energy centers in order to live a very intentional, purposeful life. And really, the goal here is to live your life by way of intuition and from that source of divine intelligence. So, if you are on this journey, if you are desiring to move forward and live your life in this way, this video will be perfect for you. And this will be one of several. So I'm just going to drop a little bit of insight, a little bit of practices for you to get started within this journey or to continue on the journey that you have already begun. And so when I speak of divine intelligence, what that really means to me and in my experience and practice is we want to engage the psychic mind as well as the conscious mind. And so the psychic mind is the aspect of the mind that receives the insights and the downloads. And usually, when you are in that receiving mode, when you are really connected and engaging with the psychic mind, you are considered to be in that meditative space, in that energetic space of, you could say, high vibration and just in the zone. So that might look like when you're listening to music and you're just really like losing yourself and tapped in and the information's able to flow through. Maybe you're painting or outside, walking outside in nature, or maybe you are sitting in meditation and stillness and you receive insights in that way. But whatever for you, whatever it looks like for you of being in the zone, that is a space in which you will really be in that or engaging that psychic mind. And the conscious mind is perfect for evaluating the insights and the messages that come through that psychic mind, discerning what um, particular insight or what guidance is going to be the best possible guidance, or should I act on this and so forth, right? But the advice and the guidance, or not necessarily the advice, but the messages, you want to really tune in and listen to what's coming through the psychic mind. And so naturally, we will engage that third part of the mind, which is the unconscious mind, which is the beliefs, the unconscious beliefs and the, let me just double check my notes, and the stored memory and just the energy there that has been um stored or brought forth from trauma, right? And that's just acting passively. That's really can be our blocks and our limitations. Naturally, we're going to be engaging that mind in the process because as we really begin to listen to our intuitive guidance, as we really begin to be discerning within our lives, we will naturally start to really dig deep into the depths of the psyche. And we will then illuminate aspects of what has been really influencing us, or really, yeah, influencing us subtly, or the belief systems that we have that may or may not serve us at this point in our lives. And so it's all this oneness aspect of engaging every aspect of the mind in the sense that they're all there to be of service in some way. And so in my practice, in my perspective, I definitely feel the psychic mind is the leading force here. And that's where we want to really tap into to get the insights and the guidance and that the divine messages that we so desire to make the best decisions and to live the most, intentional life. So the first place to start, I've been talking about this recently, is acting on our hunches, acting on our intuition and our gut instinct. And so, one of the ways that I have experienced the messages coming from the divine, right? Because I get my intuition right. Is my intuition always right? Which I'll talk about that here in a minute. And then just really, as I'm beginning to really live my life by intuition, of course, we have the self doubt. So, how do we tell if the message is divine or if it's coming from the ego? Well, if it feels expansive, if it feels, safe, supportive, and you just feel free and it's inspiring, that is a very strong indication that that is a divine message. And if it feels restricted, or you just like in fear when you hear it, or you just, your body knows, listen to your body in those moments, listen to like your gut might tense up, there's something there, right? And that might not be the best guidance, or that might be something that is coming forth from, trauma or fear, and maybe not necessarily of you, but say if someone's sharing information with you, it could be coming from their own fear and their own, trauma. So moving forward, the next best step here is to find that sacred moment within your day that you can go and get into that zone, into that high vibrational space where you are engaged with the psychic mind. Bring that information, bring that idea or insight, bring that feeling to this meditative state, and question, ask, what does this mean, or can I receive some clarity? What is this pointing me to? And just get curious, but in that meditative state, and anything that comes forth from that meditative state, that high vibe, that zone, that is usually an aspect of the divine, right? That is the best place to be in, the best vibration to be in when receiving divine guidance, when wanting to figure something out. Although we're not in that space, we're not figuring it out, we're allowing it to come through. We are asking and we're allowing ourselves to receive. And so then we can engage the conscious mind by asking ourselves, right? Or by discerning, in a sense, okay, is this particular, insight, like, is this in accordance with, say my goals, or how can I act on this further, or so forth. And if you're really still unclear, go back into that meditative space, right? But the conscious mind will just really help to bring in some element of discernment that's necessary, because every single gut instinct, and honestly, one of the biggest things that I am really honoring with this journey is we have to allow ourselves to make mistakes and to be wrong. Like, sometimes the psychic messages coming through might not necessarily be accurate, right? And it could just be by way of energies always changing. And at that moment, you were in alignment with this particular timeline because of where you were vibrationally. And then something shifts, or you make one subtle decision, and then you're in alignment with this other timeline, and in alignment with this other particular outcome, right? So that past decision or past information is no longer relevant to where you are at this point in time. So again, you want to take it back to that place where you are very connected with the psychic mind, and again, question and bring that forth, and really take your time with this process. There's no need to rush, right? And I think that's the biggest teacher here too, is allowing yourself the time and the grace to really, let it come to you, let it unfold and naturally, because when you know. And so another thing I want to also add here is when it comes to the unconscious aspect, right? And when we're considering, okay, here are my psychic centers, right? And looking at the and referring to the chakra centers, what I am referring or recommending that my clients do, and that I do myself, is that I have a pendulum and I actually measure the energy of each center, right? And so if the general rule of thumb is, if the pendulum is swinging clockwise and in a very, steady pace, nothing like crazy, that is an open, clear channel. If it's spinning counterclockwise, it's blocked. If it's not spinning at all, then it is essentially no energy there, right? And so that's a good place to start too, to get an idea, okay, which energy centers are open, what's blocked, and moving forward. I actually, at this moment, my crown chakra is moving back and forth, like basically nodding yes. So I'm trying to and not trying. I am asking, what does that mean? Right? And so I am allowing that to come to me. So yeah, that is pretty much what I wanted to share in this particular video. So again, the main points here is to, in order to engage that psychic mind, the conscious mind and the unconscious, we want to really just begin living our lives, acting and following our intuition, acting on our gut instinct, right? And on our hunches. They're all the same thing. I just like saying all the words. And then we also want to allow ourselves to make mistakes, right? We're human. We're not always going to get it right. Maybe the intuition is not always right, which is something I am like allowing myself to accept. And then again, and then also, bringing those ideas, information, thoughts to your sacred space, to your meditative space to really sit with it and see how it feels and see what's presented to you and see what psychic centers, really engage with what's coming forth and just really pay attention to your body and just how things move about you in that space. And finally, yes, measuring your energy centers with the pendulum to really get an idea of what's blocked, what's overactive, or what's just not, moving at all, right? And of course, what's open and balanced. And so, if you have any questions, definitely please drop them in the comments below or share your perspective, your ideas, your experiences with any of this. And if you are seeking one on one counsel, mentorship with this particular journey, you can really reach out to me via the link in the description of this video, and we can see if this is a good journey for both of us to connect together. So thank you for tuning in. Please like the video. Please share if this resonates. Please subscribe if you are curious and want to learn more about this. And I will talk to you again soon. Take care.